Back again with another reaction. TikTok funny story compilations. Well, I didn't even really. I'm just going through TikTok listening to funny stories. So, before we get into this video, it's good to see everybody. Hello. And do me a favor. Thumbs up the video, because you know it's going to be fire. Get your snacks and your drinks, head to the couch, and watch this with your boy. And subscribe to the channel, please. Appreciate it. So let's jump into this video. Let's go.
Stuck his head into a barber shop and asked.
I go into a McDonald's, right? And you know how you go into a McDonald's, they have those kiosks where you can like do your own order and then like you get like a little receipt. So I go inside and I use this kiosk. Keep in mind, the floor is hella wet. When I came into the McDonald's, I almost bust my ass, right? So then this old man, this older man comes in. He had to be like in his 60s or like early 70s, right? And he comes in and he almost busts his ass too. So he's already pissed off, right? The old man goes up to the counter to wait for like an employee to come help him, right? He doesn't want to use the kiosk. And I know he doesn't want to use the kiosk because he came up to me, giving me this whole machines are going to take over the world. They're taking everybody's job speech, and he refuses to use it. So he goes to the counter to wait on an employee to come help him. So nobody comes to help him for a hot minute. He gets pissed. I already finished my order, right? I got my receipt. It's in my hoodie pocket, like right here, right? This old man, this is what I knew. He wasn't playing around. He walks around the counter, which I've never seen in my life. I've seen videos on Twitter. He walks behind the counter and he goes like halfway into like McDonald's like kitchen area. He's like, hello, I need help. Then this older black woman comes around the counter, sees him, and then like she looks at him, then looks at me, because I'm like, I stepped over a little bit to see like, hey, somebody gonna beat his ass or what? Like the lady goes, sir, no, sir, you need to go back behind the counter right now, sir. You are not, no, sir, you cannot be back here. And then the dude, he's already pissed because he almost bust his ass coming into the McDonald's. He looks at the woman and says, well, I don't see the sign saying we can't be back here, and no one's up front. So what am I supposed to do? And then he turns and he looks back at me. And he goes, do you see a sign saying that we can't be back there? And I was like, we is crazy. I'm not with him, ma'am. I'm not with him. The lady goes, you need to leave the premises right now. You need to leave right now or we're going to call the police. And then he goes, we ain't going nowhere. And I'm like, hold on. I wasn't going
Yeah, he just included this nigga, bro.
on anywhere anyways. I already paid for my shit. Don't put me in your thing, sir.
Yeah.
And then she goes, both of you leave right now. The police are on the way. I said, both? I got a receipt. So then the police show up. They come into the door, and both the cops almost bust their ass. They come in and they start slipping because the floor is tremendously wet because whoever mopped just dumped water on the ground and pushed a stick around, really. The cops are not in the best mood right now. You know what I mean? Because anybody in uniform that almost bust their ass, you're not getting their best. And I understood that. So they come in and like, hey, we're gonna need y'all to leave. And I wanted to kindly express to them, I'm not in the whole thing. I used the kiosk. I got my receipt. It's really just him. And the old dude, he's going crazy. Like I ain't going nowhere. He's talking about the machines still. The cops ain't trying to hear about the machines. So then one of the cops like starts to approach me and is like just kind of like gesturing me like outside, like to go handle all this like outside, right? So I reach to show my receipt because I had it in my hoodie. So as soon as I reach for my hoodie, she kind of like kind of shifts and puts her hand like, you know, where a gun might be. And I'm like, oh shit, oh, it all came to me. She just showed up to like whatever, and I'm reaching for my hoodie, and I just so happen to be black. I'm about to be put on a t-shirt, and all that hit me. I was like, oh no. I kind of like shuffled, but the floor is wet. So when I shuffled, I slipped, and I actually bust my ass. So I slipped and I fell, and I didn't know that there was a wet floor sign close by. So when I fell, I hit that sign, and it fell like down on the hard floor, and it made like a pop sound, like a
Oh
pop.
shit!
I thought I got shot. I thought I got shot, and I couldn't feel anything like me being shot, but I heard it, so I started pre-screaming. It went, "Bah! Oh, 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 oh!" So I ran on the ground, and then the craziest part, the old man who claims that me and him together goes, "What? Hey, did you shoot him? Did you shoot him?" And he's like, he knows nobody shot me. So he's not helping. I'm like, oh, oh. So I'm thinking, oh, shit, I am shot. It was so bad, man. So that was at McDonald's. That's how life's going for me. I go into a McDonald's, right? And you know how you.
Hey, y'all ever realize that God was wilding in the Old Testament? I'm talking top tier level petty. Like, think of the story of Jonah, right? God.
No, you know what I don't understand is when people are like, these edibles are 100 milligrams each, not 10. I just accidentally took 1,000 milligrams. If I thought that I took...
Story time. Sometimes to help with my sleep, I like to take a little edible, and I get to just chill out, and then usually I'm in bed by 11 o'clock. Now, I read the package wrong. I should have taken a quarter of what I took. I forgot the exact measurements, but I was on the moon. I was trying to watch a movie.
Hey, yo. Man say he was straight astronaut, bruh.
But I kept stopping it to remind myself what I was watching. It was Toy Story 3, and I kept thinking that it was a horror or like an Ari Aster movie. Then I realized I wanted a snack. 45 minutes later, I finally got off the couch. My pantry had way too many selections. I slammed that door shut. My fridge was too cold. Then I realized that I haven't heard myself talk in a while. So I kept saying, hello? My wife is...
Hey, yo, he tripping, bruh. Like, he really tripping, bro.
is going, what are you doing? And I'm like, you can hear me? Then it was time to brush my teeth. I picked up the toothpaste I had in my left hand, and I was looking for the toothpaste for about 20 minutes. Finally, I put the toothpaste back, and I put pomade on my toothbrush. I'm halfway into brushing my teeth, and then I realize, wow, that's wrong. I then think I don't have a voice again. I go, hello, and my wife goes, what's wrong with you? I said, I think I'm dying. I wash the pomade out of my mouth with soap. I then take Listerine, swallow it, and I forget why I went to the bathroom. I'm finally in bed, and I'm like, fuck, I have to brush my teeth. I was going to ask for a chaperone to help me brush my teeth, but I realized I'm an adult man who needs to figure this out. I successfully brushed my teeth. It was the biggest win I've ever had in my life. Nobody should feel that way. I thought, this is me now. This is reality. This is how I'm going to live. Oh, what a night.
No, you know what I don't understand.
That was fucking nice, bro. Like, yo, bro thought he was done, bro.
This is a story how I went to a barbecue that turned into a swingers party, and I ended up having to save this dude's life. Long story short, I get invited out to a barbecue, right? And at the barbecue, there's a bunch of couples. There's no kids. And at the end of the night, I've been drinking. A lot of people have been drinking. People were like making their dibs on like what part of the couch they're going to stay on, who had the guest rooms, you know, shit like that. I had one of the guest rooms, you know what I mean? And then a few other couples had like spots, like pallets made on the living room floor. It was like a movie night situation, you know, everybody's big 20s. Turns out I was invited to stay because the little clique was actually a swingers club. All these couples, they were swinging. If you don't know what that means, that's basically what when somebody invites you to their house and they're being they're having, you know, hospitality type shit. They'll say, hey, would you like some water? Or, hey, would you like a beer? Or, hey, make yourself at home. These people, their form of hospitality at the end of the night after a few drinks is, hey, would you care for some cheeks? would you mind some cheeks? What kind of cheeks would you like tonight? You know what I mean? So at first I was kind of like nervous. Okay, well, let me get to how I found out. I was laying in my guest room, right, and I was just toasty. You know what I mean? I was gone, and then I get a text on my phone and it's from like the I'm trying not to say I'm trying not to give it away. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep this story as private as I can. You know what I mean? And I get a text and from the homeowners, like the people who were hosting the party, like, hey, come to our room real quick. So I'm like, shit. So I get up, I go to the room, and underneath the door, I can see like this red tint, or like this red light. I go in, and they're sitting on the bed, and it's like 3 other people, like chicks, and they're like, topless, whatever, and they have those masquerade masks. Now, you know those masks you wear, like they wear at those parties where it's like kind of like a Catwoman mask, but the guys wear them too. They're all sitting there and like they're listening to like slow like vibe music, like the type of music you would play like in the background of a podcast. And they're like,
"Yeah, this is a Zorro podcast." His dad is Zorro mask on. Say,
"Do you wanna? Like, are you down?" And in the moment, I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I was like, "Yeah, let me." Let me see what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm you know what I mean? I don't know. So, I was more nervous because I don't know the rules. What are the rules? Like, how do I make it known? I don't want anything going in my exits. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, how does this? I don't even know how this works. Do I just do I get tagged in? You know what I mean? Like a WWE match, like. Do I like wait for like halftime and then I'll come in the third quarter? Like, you know what I mean? Like I get some points off the bench. You know what I mean? Am I a bench player? I'm definitely not a starter. The starters were in the game and they were doing their thing, right? And then the homeowner dude, he hops up and he says something, and then like, remember this was a barbecue, and he's eating Doritos and a barbecue hot dog on a paper plate, sitting on like a chair in the corner by the TV, and he's just eating it. He's like, "Hey man, get in there. Get in there, man."
Coached him.
So I kind of just like crawl on the bed and I kind of sit on the corner crevice like some kid at recess who doesn't have any friends to play with. I'm like, just vibing. So then his wife, Tydeep, she kind of crawls over and she starts doing the things that you do in those things, right? Eventually, positions get changed up, and what was weird was he was hyping me up like a proud father on the sideline of a T-ball game. He's like, there you go, that's what I'm talking about. And it was just bop, 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 bop. Yeah. He gets up. Remember, he's eating a hot dog, eating Doritos. He's eating a hot dog. He's just, there you go. There you go. All the other people are doing their things. The music's still playing. This is the craziest thing I ever experienced in my life. Right? The story, the fact I'm giving you a story is outlandish, right? So then this dude slaps my ass. He goes, "Bah, there you go." I'm like, all right.
Party over.
That's why I draw the line. First of all, you eating a hot dog and Doritos in a towel right now, and this situation is crazy. Who's eating in this situation? You know what I'm saying? How normal is this for you? You know what I mean? Then this dude starts choking. He starts choking on the hot dog. He goes, he's trying to like breathe the hot dog out. Now everybody's freaking out. They're like, what's going on? Like, they're trying to like do the the maneuver, but they're not doing it right. And they're like, "Hey, do you know how to do it?" I was like, "I think so, but I'm hard. I'm butterball naked. What am I supposed to do? I'm about to get behind this man while he's in a towel and give him the Heimlich." I did, but I tried to keep my waist away from like his body. So I'm like, I'm trying to chest pump the Heimlich. You know what I'm saying? He didn't die. The hot dog came out, but yeah, there's more to that story, and I will give that to y'all if y'all want. Just follow, like, and share, and I'll give y'all the rest of that story. This is a
Yo, that shit's fucking nuts.
story how I went to
An old farmer writes to...
Hey, are you having a bad day and need a funny story? Well, I got one for you, so go get your snack and come back. Did I ever tell y'all about that time I got kicked out of the club for trying to fight somebody that did not want to?
I seen
One more.
I spun the nigga.
One night a guy.
I spun the nigga around and I put the nigga in the full Nelson because once the shots was going off, the 2 niggas was over there that was down there, pulled out the hammer, and the nigga right here pulls out the hammer. I said, I'm dead. But I had the nigga in the full Nelson. So now when these niggas is trying to shoot me, I'm aiming this motherfucking nigga up to all the hammers. You know what I'm saying? So I must have had the nigga so tight, the nigga swung his body to the side, and that's how my shit was open, and he hit me. I spun the nigga around.
One night, a guy followed his wife.
All right, it's time to tell some funny psych ward stories. Like, I've been telling some serious ones, some good ones, you know, some funny ones here and there, but I got some funny ones. So, y'all know I used to work in the war. I whoop-de-whoop. Yeah, I already know that already. Let's get to 1 million followers. So, there was this one kid that I had to watch. I was on a one-to-one staff to patient watch with this kid because he was rambunctious. Young little boy. I'll just say he wasn't older than 9 years old. Ball of energy, loved to get into trouble, had a foul mouth. But guess what else he had? This little boy had a heart for God. Let me tell you, this boy had a heart for God. He would be singing worship songs and all types of, I gotta demonstrate to you how this little boy would be so bad, but like such an angelic Christian. Okay, check this out. After this man got done using every word in the cussing book, he asked me, while we chilling in his room, hey, can you turn on some worship music? It really helps calm me down. I'm like, worship music? You want to talk to God after you just used the devil's lips? So I put on the worship music, right? Our guy starts standing up, lifting his hands, closing his eyes, taking it all in, receiving the spirit. And this part I can't make up. I just can't make this up. I kid you not. I don't remember what song it was, but he's singing this part and he's going like, your presence, Lord. Fuck, you're so good, God. Holy shit. Like starts cussing in mid-worship, talking to his maker. So I paused the music. I'm like, are you like, I'm thinking he's trolling me. Like he just had me turn that on to be disrespectful or something, right? Because I don't tolerate that. I would have been like, nah, you got to show some respect. But I look at this kid after I pause the music. There's real tears flowing from his eyes. And he's telling me, he's like, Mr. J, God's just so fucking good. He's just so fucking good. And I couldn't do nothing but believe him. I'm like, now I don't know what type of vocab this man was taught. He did have some disorders, apparently, right? I mean, he was young, but it was disorders on the chart. But even God couldn't get you to clean your mouth, boy. Even God couldn't get you to, you over here worshiping. And are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? How crazy? I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. Sweet kid, when you get down to it. A rabble rouser, he'll smack another kid in the face. He'll cuss out a staff, read them for filth. But Jesus gonna get this filthy praise too.
That's crazy.
Oh, man, I miss that little boy. I hope he's doing all right wherever he at. Your presence, Lord. All right.
Let me tell y'all something. The best advice you will ever receive in your life will come from a crackhead. And I live in Florida. Our crackheads are top tier. They are built different, so I know firsthand. I was just at the convenience store trying to get some ice, and the guy going in front of me was arguing with the crackhead outside. And I know y'all gonna be like, Jasmine, how are you going to assume somebody's a crackhead? Because he was yelling at the guy, stop staring at me because I'm a crackhead. Something inaudible. This could be you one day. So the guy said something I couldn't hear and was like, and I don't do crack. And then the crackhead was like, well, you do something sagging skinny jeans with a belt on. Now I'm howling. Rule number 1 of interactions with a crackhead, you never amp them on. So now he like, oh yeah, you like that? You thought that was funny? So now he yelling after the guy in the store. He was like, why didn't you hold the door open for the fat bitch? Now I want to go cry in the car because what the fuck did I do to the goddamn crackhead to deserve some sort of shit like that? So as I'm coming out the store, he's like, I think I upset you and I ain't mean nothing by what I said. You know, the weight looked good on you. I fucked a lot of fat bitches back in my day. Oh, so I was built for the crackhead gaze. My mental health is doing numbers right now. And he was like, and always remember, you don't have to be going on a trip to say bon voyage. So I was like, what does that mean? Rule number 2 of interactions with a crackhead, never ask them questions. And he was like, what you mean, bon voyage? And I was like, okay. And he was like, what, you slow or something? So as I'm driving home thinking about the fact that I was just called slow by a fucking crackhead, I came to the realization he's right. You don't have to be going on a trip to tell somebody bon voyage. Bon voyage, bitch. Bon voyage.
3 old men were talking about how bad their memory had gotten over time. And the first old man said, I was standing in the middle of the doorway of my house, and I couldn't remember if I was leaving the house or if I was going in the house. And the second old man said, that's nothing. I was in the middle of a stairwell, and I couldn't remember if I was going up the stairs or down the stairs. And the third old man said, let me tell you guys, I got a lot of compassion for you, 'cause my memory's perfect, sharp as a tack, same as I've been since I was 25 years old, knock on wood. Hello? Who's there? 3 old men were...
Hey, yo, that shit was crazy. Yo, that shit, to me, that shit was funny. Sorry. I'm sorry. Hands down, it was funny.
That's from Paul Day All Day. We had the standard 6-foot fence in the backyard, and a few months ago I heard about burglaries increasing dramatically in my entire suburb. To make sure this never happened to me, I got an electric fence and ran a single wire along the top of the fence. I got the biggest cattle charger that the local farm supply place had. It was made for 26 kilometres of fence. I then used...
One day I had to watch my little niece because my sister had went out of town. I'm in the house teasing her, telling her like, your mama ain't never coming back. She say, good, I was about time.
Yo, bro, funny.
Anyway, I say, hey, stop cussing. My niece asked me like, can a friend come over? I'm like, well, after you get done cleaning up the house, I can walk with you to go get your friend. Boy, she spick and span. That bitch, she got to cleaning up everything, even my room. I ain't say shit to her though. She get done, she come right up to me. All right, let's go get this heifer. We leave out the house. Now her friend, she live on the next block, so it wasn't no biggie to walk her over there. We get close by our house. I had to tie my shoe, but my niece kept walking because she was like a house ahead of me. She get to her friend house. She stopped. She say, uncle, I think we got the wrong house, cuz. I get done tying my shoe. I run up to her. I say, what you talking about? She pointed to the porch. I looked on the porch, and there's a dude in a wheelchair. And this man missing both of his arms and both of his legs. And he had on this, like, faded, light orange ass shirt. It looked at pink. I asked my niece, like, you don't know him? She say, no, I thought we was on SpongeBob. This boy look like Patrick. I said, how you doing, sir? My little niece looking for a friend. You know where she at? My little niece say, better question. How you get out here? Her uncle say she in the house. Y'all can wait for her if y'all want to. My little niece tried to open up the gate, but she couldn't get it open. She gonna tell the old boy ass on the porch, can you come open the gate for her? He ain't say shit. He just raised his arm up like this. Dude called the girl. He said, hey, little girl, your friend out here, hurry up. Little girl come out, and she tell her snowflake built uncle, like, yeah, I'm finna go over to her house real quick. I'll be back. We started walking towards the crib, and my little niece gonna ask this girl, what's your uncle name? Miracle? Because how the hell? Little girl say, what you talking about? My little niece say, your uncle. Where the rest of them? Why you sitting on the porch looking like a Super Mario star? Little girl say, don't talk about my uncle. I think he was born like that. My little niece say, oh, that mean they must have left the rest of him in the womb. The little girl gonna look at me and say, what you looking at me for? Talk about her ass back. The little girl turned back towards my little niece and said, right, because when I talk about your dirty ass uncle, I'm like, hold on, bitch, calm your little ass down before I make you stand in the corner with books in your hand. My little niece say, I don't care if you talk about him, that ain't my favorite uncle. Well, damn, okay, you ain't hurting me though. My niece say, I hope somebody in there to roll his ass back in there while y'all got him outside in the sun like that, with that light orange shirt on, got that man outside looking like a sweet potato. The little girl say, look at your uncle, his beard don't connect. Hey, you future bitch, did I tell your ass? My niece say, I bet your uncle get jealous when you walk and grab something in front of him. And he built like a multiplication symbol. We get to the house and the little girl get a text like, before you come in, don't forget to get the medicine from your grandma's house. She told us what the text say and asked me can I walk her to her grandma's house because the medicine was for our uncle. My little niece said, I know that wasn't your uncle that just texted that, and if it was him, ask him what's wrong with his leg. I said, yeah, I can walk you over there, but after we get down eating, what y'all want to eat? My niece say chicken and macaroni, but save some legs for our uncle, cause God knows he gonna need it. You know what, fuck eating, let's go get this medicine. How y'all think I'm bullshitting? Watch this. Hey!
What?
Why you tell that girl her uncle look like a sweet potato?
My ass had it coming.
Stop cussing. One day I had to watch my...
Yo, boy, crazy.
All right, y'all, look, I don't know whether I need to laugh, cry, or just ball up in a ball with a snot bubble, because this is the craziest story that's ever happened to me. Listen, I was driving down to South Georgia today, about a 3-hour drive, right? Driving, everything's good. It's in the evening, so getting a little dark. But here's one thing. Here's one little secret you probably don't want to know about me, but I don't like to go number 2 in public bathrooms. I usually take care of that at home.
Feel you 100%, brother.
Before I get on the road. But this time, dadgummit, door was knocking, train was coming down the tunnel. I had to go. I held it for about, I don't know, maybe 58 miles, as long as I could take it. And I'm trying to think, where's the best, cleanest place to go number 2? Because brother's prairie dogging right now. I mean, it is happening. It's got to happen. So I'm thinking Chick-fil-A, right? Chick-fil-A got the best, cleanest bathroom. All right, I could do. It's Sunday. Can't go to Chick-fil-A. Do number 2 on a Sunday at Chick-fil-A. So I'm thinking, all right, what else is clean? Fast food out, right? So I think, all right, well, truck stops. Truckers go there all the time. Truck stop couldn't be that bad. Ha ha. Wait till you hear this. So anyway, it's attached to a McDonald's. It's a McDonald's truck stop. You know, they got showers and everything in there. They're calling out numbers. 72. You can go in there. I guess they get a ticket number when their shower comes up or something. Well, anyway, I find the bathroom. I go in there. There's 3 stalls. 2 of them, the doors are shut. I got 1 stall. But brother, like I said, I'm touching cotton at this point. It's happening. I'm about to deliver my firstborn. It's happening. 3rd stall open, but the door pulls out. It doesn't go in, it goes out. So I pull it out and thinking, all right, that's kind of weird. I stand in there and I try to shut it. It just bounce. It won't shut. You relax it and it opens up about 2 inches. So it's got to, I don't care. I got to go number 2 right now. Look at the toilet, got piss all over the toilet lid. I get toilet paper, I'll wipe it down good as I can. I stack toilet paper up on it because I'm about to sit down on this mother. I stack it all up, right? I get in position, I go. It's just like bam. Number 1 comes out like that. I mean, number 1, bam. So all right, you know, I'm a gentleman. I'm going to give a courtesy flush. By the way, that's what you do when number 1 comes out. You courtesy flush for the rest of the event. So I'm turning to courtesy flush. And right when I touch the handle, I feel something slimy. I look at my hand, daggum dookie all over my hand. Who put
your sword? Oh. Bruh, I'd have lost my shit, bruh. I'd have tore that whole bathroom up. No bullshit.
Puts dookie on the handle on a toilet. So I'm freaking out about that. It's awful. I'm about to gag right now. Gagging because I got somebody's dookie under my fingernail. And then I feel this little tickle down underneath. This little tickle. I'm thinking, oh Lord, my nuts are hanging down in the bowl. The water's too high. My nuts is touching the water. So I look down, there's a daggone roach, a cockroach that big, crawling across my plums. It's just crawling across like...
He said he crawled across his plums. Hey, yo. Oh, man. Oh.
Yeah, so I lose presence of mind right there. I jump up off the seat. My foot got tangled up in my underwear, and I go falling out the stall. My head, you see I got a little Band-Aid right there. My head bonks the door. I go falling out. I'm just laying on the floor. My underwear's around my ankles. I got dookie under my fingernail, and I look up. Here's where it gets worse. There's a lady washing her hands at the sink. I'm in the dang lady's bathroom. All right, y'all, look.
Hey, yo, son. Wow. That's insane.
I don't know whether
So I go into my pharmacy so that I can get some refills on my medication. And I'm someone that when I get startled, I will just say stuff and just keep saying stuff if the energy's right. And anyway, I open the door and I am greeted with this punch in the face of this horrible smell. And as I open the door and I'm hit with it, I went, oh God, what is that smell? And there is this husband and wife standing there. Husband's like 6'1", dressed like a tradesman, husky guy, and his wife is like 5'3", very petite. And he looks at me with this twinkle in his eye. This is the greatest day of this man's life. And he goes, what's it smell like? And I'm like, oh, it smells like a gut-shot elk near a sewer grate. He roars with laughter. and he elbows his wife, who is now looking at me, and she is just red in the face, and the ghost is leaving her body. And I cue in as the husband is just like laughing really hard. I'm like, was that you? Are you okay? There is a clinic right there. And I was like, and now at this point, the husband's laughing. She's got a smile on her face, you know, and it's kind of a tentative smile, but she's starting to get that twinkle in her eye as she's kind of, because again, the energy, everyone's laughing. And I was like, this is not a well-ventilated area. You got to be careful with something like that. And now at this point, big smile. She's in on it, okay? So it's like before people get like offended and like, oh, you're an asshole. But then I was like, this is not a well-ventilated area. You got to be careful with that. God forbid someone's going down on you. You'll kill them. At this point, it looked like somebody wrapped a rope around the ankles of her husband and yanked. He is on the floor. He let out a yelp like a chihuahua that got its like skin caught in the zipper of the purse it rides in. And she laughed, she laughed and then she snorted. And when she snorted, she went to cover her mouth, but as she went to cover her mouth, she farted again, to which she laughed and snorts again and farts again. To where I'm like, oh God, she's getting us with both barrels. Head for the hills, and I start hobbling for the door. Her husband is on all fours, and he sounds like he's having a stroke. He's like, oh Jesus, stop talking. I can't breathe. To the woman, if you happen to see this, God bless you. What an amazing day. We all had a good laugh. The husband eventually recovered as he is like crawling around the room for a chair, trying to locate oxygen. So I go into my pharmacy.
When I walked in that jail for the first time, you know what I smelled? I smelled butt ass. Butt ass. It was so bad. I mean, the funk hit you like, boom. I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh, shit. And every day
That's
I
crazy.
come in, that butt ass hits you, bam. And now you talking to another officer. Now all y'all got the butt ass breath. How you doing? How you doing? You don't...
So a horse walks in the bar, and the bartender's like, why the long face? And the horse is like, my wife just died. Sorry, I have not really been sleeping well. I just realized that's a joke, and I missed it.
You know, I've always wondered what it would be like to read a romance book when you yourself are not attracted to the main love interest. And let me be the first to say is that as an experiment, I never want to do again. Like 10 out of... It was horrible. I just finished reading Funny Story by Emily Henry, which is well written by all means. Like nobody could ever accuse Emily Henry of being a bad writer. But she did something that I didn't think was remotely possible in romance where, like, forget not being into the love story.
And my little niece is just like me, bro, joking wise. One time she got in trouble in school so bad that she had a parent-teacher conference, right?
My son is 29. I'm in the car the last time with this boy. He's driving. I'm asleep. Have your brain ever just signaled to you, you in danger? Dead sleep. My brain say, hey, you may need to wake up. I open my eyes. I just looked over my shoulder. The car door is open. The car is moving. But there's not a person operating the vehicle.
Hey, yo.
I'm just in a vehicle sleep with no human being operating that's moving.
Hey, yeah.
And then I see my son slide into the doorway. TT, do you love me? And I was like, what is he doing? You left me in a moving vehicle to shoot a video?
this man met in a terrible accident and lost one of his testicles.
A professor was...
I want to date T, and I came to T wrong off the top. Used to all these little hood girls. I came with the T. I saw her in the skating ring. I say, yo. And she stopped and said, is that your name? I said, no, I'm speaking. She said, no, you need to find a better way to speak to me. That girl shooed me out her face. And back then, we didn't call girls bitches back then. We didn't call girls bitches. I'm walking back down to my friends after I got shooed. I get down, I say, man, this scallywag gonna tell me. It was scallywag back then. We called it scallywag. I want to date T, and I came to...
A pothead pays a visit to his dealer and tells him, hey, bro, give me something new, something strong that will make me up good. The dealer replies, all right, man, try this. It's called Dark Bright. Huh? Bright Dark? Why? He asks. The dealer replies, just buy some, try it out, and you'll see. The pothead buys a few ounces, arrives home, and tells his dad, Dad, I'm going to go out the balcony for some fresh air. Dad replies, all right, son. After having closed the balcony's door, he rolled up the joint, lit it up, and as he inhaled, he's already starting to feel the buzz. Man, this is some damn good, thinks the pothead. And after a few minutes, it gets dark, then bright. Dark, then bright. Dark, and bright again. Next day, he goes to the dealer again. Bro, that was truly some good stuff. Give me some more. So he bought some, went home, and tells his dad, Dad, I'm going to go out the balcony for some fresh air. His father looks at him confused and says, are you going to stay out for 3 days again?
Oh, shit.
A pothead pays a visit. A nurse became pregnant while dating a doctor. The married doctor begged her to keep it a secret and inform her that
Well, there y'all have it. Some funny TikTok story shit. You feel me? So, if you guys like the video, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Tell everybody about it. Thank you for everything y'all do. Big appreciate. And see y'all here next time. Love, peace, and good vibes over here as always.